Call to order the Committee on House Administration for purposes of today's committee meeting. A quorum is present, so we may proceed. The meeting record will remain open for 5 legislative days so that members may submit any materials they wish to be included therein. There are several items on the docket today. First on the agenda are 2 committee resolutions amending the committees and members' congressional handbooks respectively. Committee Resolution 115-10 updates the advertisement regulations found in the members' congressional handbook, and Resolution 115-11 updates the advertisement regulations found in the committee's congressional handbook. To place an advertisement with official resources, representatives of the House are required to follow the regulations found in the members' congressional handbook and submit the advertisement to the Franking Commission for an advisory opinion. Committee Resolution 115-10 updates the regulation to add additional categories for which members may advertise. This update will offer additional flexibility to members when communicating with their constituents while ensuring that the Franking Commission has clear direction on which advertisements are permissible. Committee Resolution 115-11 simply updates the committee's congressional handbook to codify the current practice of allowing committee offices to advertise for followers on social media using their subcommittee titles in addition to the full committee name. Next on the agenda is Committee Resolution 115-12. This past February, the House passed H.Res. 724, which, among other things, required each House office to establish a universal anti-harassment and anti-discrimination policy. H.Res. 724 also charged this committee with establishing the regulations to assist House offices in developing their respective policies. Committee Resolution 115-12 sets out these regulations. These regulations should not be construed to limit a House office if it would like to add to the policy. The regulations contained in Committee Resolution 115-12 will be the minimum requirements for an office's policy. The last item on the agenda is a package of committee resolutions that will strengthen the regulations associated with individuals known as shared employees who are employed by 3 or more offices. I would like to thank the Vice Chairman, Mr. Davis, for his work on this issue through the task force, as well as the ranking member who provided insight. I appreciate your good work, the product of which we are marking up today. Committee Resolutions 115-13 through 115-18 set forth policies the committee has identified as essential to mitigating the risk posed by shared administrative employees and directing the House Chief Administrative Officer, the House Sergeant at Arms, and the Clerk of the House to report back to the committee within 30 days on the plans to implement these policies. In addition, Committee Resolution 115-17 reiterates the responsibilities of a shared IT or finance employee, as well as sets forth the new regulations and requirements of undergoing a background check and adhering to best practices. I would now like to recognize the ranking member, Mr. Brady, for the purpose of providing an opening statement. Mr. Brady.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, I support all the resolutions on our agenda this afternoon. I appreciate the work of Representative Davis and always thinking ways we can better communicate with our constituents, and those 2 resolutions are good steps in giving our colleagues more tools to do that. We continue our work improving the congressional workplace with our resolutions on the anti-harassment and anti-discrimination policies. Once again, Jackie Spear and Bradley Byrne have been helping in making sure that we get this right. With the training schedule we start next week, the timing is now for officers to start developing their own policies, and this regulation will give them a roadmap to do that. I would also like to mention that the Senate needs to act on our bill. We had a unanimous vote out of the House. The delay in the Senate is unacceptable, and they are further embarrassing themselves, which is pretty hard to do. They need to pass our bill. I will be submitting a longer statement for the record on the shared employees reforms we are considering. I support them, but I hope they are just a start. There are 5 different resolutions dealing with this issue, and I understand we are considering them all together, which we should. But I want to make the point that there are so many resolutions because everyone plays a part in managing this risk to the House. I look forward to seeing what the CAO and the other officers report back to us. Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and I yield back the balance of my time.
Gentleman yields back. I would ask if any other member of the committee wishes to be recognized for the purposes of providing an opening statement. Chair will now recognize the Vice President of the Vice Chairman, excuse me, new promotion for you, the Vice Chairman of the committee, Mr. Davis.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The Vice President was cornered leaving the President Francis speech by Virginia Fox, so I think he's probably still on the House floor.
It's a matter of education.
Yes. I like to associate myself with the comments from Ranking Member Brady in regards to our colleagues over in the Senate, too. But I really want to thank Chairman Harper and Ranking Member Brady for their help in helping us craft the policies that we're addressing in today's markup. Over the past year, the Franking Commission has been working in a bipartisan manner to make improvements in the franking regulations. I want to thank the Ranking Member, Susan Davis, and our fellow colleagues, and most importantly, I want to thank the Franking Commission staff for their hard work throughout this process. They held listening sessions, and following feedback with member offices, the Franking Commission decided to update several areas in the franking regs to increase efficiency, flexibility, and transparency. Last fall, we passed a committee resolution that now allows members to link directly to government websites, making it easier for them to connect their constituents with important information. And today, we're making it easier for members to share their legislative priorities with their constituents also. For the shared employee resolution, thank you, Chairman Harper, for the opportunity to work with my colleagues on this very important issue. Following a series of breaches to the House system, the chairman hosted several meetings where we discussed shared employees. He then asked me to lead the task force to reform the shared employee program. The task force held numerous meetings and bipartisan member listening sessions that were attended by both the chairman and the ranking member. I do want to thank the members who were not on this committee who attended the listening sessions. Their input directly impacted the policies in the resolution before us today. This carefully crafted resolution balances the autonomy of member offices while working to ensure the security of the House network. It is important and imperative that Jamie Raskin come back.
The Vice Chairman is recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you to my colleague, Ms. Comstock, too. It's important that we actually get this right when it comes to shared employees. This resolution instructs the CAO and the Sergeant-at-Arms to report back to this committee on how they will implement various new policies, such as establishing technical and financial standards for shared employees, terminating network access for shared employees who violate House policies, developing new badges for shared employees, and implementing a much-needed background check system. During my tenure on House administration, I've worked towards the goal of professionalizing the House's operations and offices under the guidance of Chairman Harper and former Chairlady Miller. I'm disappointed in the events that led to this markup today. Throughout this process, we were able to work with members on both sides of the aisle to develop these policies that will better protect the House network from bad actors in the future. And I yield back.
The Vice Chairman yields back. I now call up and lay before the committee Committee Resolution 11510 to approve the updates to the members' Congressional Handbook. Without objection, the first reading of the resolution is dispensed with, and the resolution is considered read and open for amendment at any point. Is there any debate? Are there any members who want to offer an amendment to the resolution? If not, I move the committee adopt the resolution. The question is on the motion. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, say nay. In the opinion of the chairman, the ayes have it, and the motion is agreed to. Without objection, the motion to reconsider is laid upon the table. I now call up and lay before the committee Committee Resolution 115-11 to approve the update to the committee's Congressional Handbook. Without objection, the first reading of the resolution is dispensed with, and the resolution is considered read and open for amendment at any point. Is there any debate? Are there any members who want to offer an amendment to the resolution? If not, I move the committee adopt the resolution. The question is on the motion. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, say nay. In the opinion of the chair, the ayes have it, and the motion is agreed to. Without objection, the motion to reconsider is laid upon the table. I now call up Committee Resolution 115-12, a resolution adopting the regulations for the Universal Policy on Anti-Harassment and Anti-Discrimination pursuant to H-Res 724. Without objection, the first reading of the resolution is dispensed with, and the resolution is considered read and open for amendment at any point. Is there any debate? Are there any members who want to offer an amendment to the resolution? If not, I move the committee adopt the resolution. The question is on the motion. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Opposed, say nay. In the opinion of the chair, the ayes have it, and the motion is agreed to. Without objection, the motion to reconsider is laid upon the table. With the cooperation of Ranking Member Brady and other members of this committee, it appears that we have worked out an agreement on the remaining 6 committee resolutions scheduled for markup today. Before we begin, does any member seek time to speak on any of the committee resolutions in this unanimous consent motion? Now I ask unanimous consent that the following committee resolutions be adopted as described. Committee Resolution 13, Committee Resolution 14, Committee Resolution 15, Committee Resolution 16, Committee Resolution 17, and Committee Resolution 18. Hearing no objection, so ordered. Without objection, the motions to reconsider are laid upon the table. I ask unanimous consent that the staff be allowed to make necessary technical and conforming changes to the bills ordered reported today, subject to the approval of the minority. Hearing no objection, so ordered. Without objection, the markup is adjourned.